The stairs are kind of funny. They're penis stairs.
Penis stairs.
Penis stairs.
Stairs here look like penises.
Lincoln High School is infamous for its phallic stair design. But where is the design from? How did it end up at a high school in Seattle? And most importantly, was the design on purpose? I started my research by emailing a local blacksmith company that specializes in stair designs. The owner wrote back and said that he had seen similar railings around Paris and that Lincoln's architect, James Stephen, could have been inspired by one of those designs and have used it without realizing how it would be seen today. After hearing this, I was curious about what those Parisian designs were. So I hunkered down and did a ton of research and found a tweet which led me to finding a series of French articles. Basically, in the 16 and 1700s, brothels in Paris weren't allowed to use super obvious advertising. Instead, they used subtle designs in their ironwork to attract potential customers. And guess what? Lincoln stairs looked just like them. But I wasn't sure if this was the actual source of the design. So I did more digging and found out that the brothel designs were a part of the French colonial ironwork style, which shares a lot of the elements of Lincoln stairs. Let's take a closer look. Here in the middle is the design from Lincoln stairs, and this is a design from a French brothel. They look really similar, but there's one crucial difference. On the design from the brothel, the phalluses are facing up, while the design at Lincoln has the phalluses facing down. The French colonial design over here has a lot of the same elements as these two. Even though it's not as blatantly obvious, it still has the type of spiral around the top like our stairs do. It has whatever you want to call this kind of shape here, like both of these, but it is also much more decorative and not designed to be in a brothel. James Stephen could have seen the style and design in a lot more places besides just French brothels, meaning that he was much less likely to be inspired directly by the brothels and more likely just inspired by French design from that time period. Now that I knew where the design was from, where did James Stephen see it? How did he find it? James Stephen, Lincoln's architect and penis stair designer, started his architecture career in 1885 after learning architecture through a correspondence course. Basically, a remote course before the internet using mail. He was hired by Seattle schools in 1899. Throughout his career in Seattle, he built more than 50 schools. His early designs were wood-based, but just before he designed Lincoln, he went on a tour of the Midwest and New York to study new brick school designs. From that trip, he gained lots of new ideas about modernization and design. And this made me wonder, on his trip, could he have seen our stair design and brought it back to Seattle? So I did the only logical next step. I bought a ticket and flew to New York. The first school I went to looked just like Lincoln. It was brick, it had ornate designs, and it was closed for midwinter break. We'll try the door just for the heck of it, just to see. I have no idea if that still works or works in general. It looks like the top of a penis. Oh, hi. I'm doing a documentary about stairways and old school architecture. There's no way I can come in.
Are you nuts?
I didn't think I could, but I figured this
there's
was
no security or anything like that.
Genuinely, just looking at that stairs is all I needed. Can I just
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Are there?
No, you don't, dude. You gotta get. I can't risk my job.
Can I just go like this?
No. Stop. You gotta. Please, like.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was so happy. Even though I only had a couple seconds in the school, I got a shot of what I needed. Wrought iron in a school that looks like Lincoln in a place where James Stephen could have visited. So I moved on to the next school, which looked even more like Lincoln, but was gated shut, meaning I couldn't even peek inside. So I went to my third stop, which was actually in New Jersey. I'm from Seattle and I'm working on a documentary about school architecture, and I was wondering if I could come in and look at your guys' staircases.
Stay by.
You should.
Hi.
You have to have pre-approval from the Board of Education first in order to come in and do that.
Am I allowed to look at around the outside though?
Yeah.
Totally works. All right, thank you so much. Like Lincoln was like shorter and a little bit more wacky. Like this is what it would look like. Looking inside, I could see some stairs. And then the security guard found me.
So I just clarified, they don't even want you on the property.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Are you sure? Okay. Are these the only stairs you guys have?
No, there's multiple circuits.
Do you guys have wrought iron here or like a bigger circuit? You actually do? And I really tried to convince him. Can I come in and look and not take pictures? You could film the staircase here for me or any of that?
Nope.
Not at all?
Nope.
Sorry.
All right.
Thanks. Sorry.
Good luck.
I never did get inside, but with a little bit of Instagram stalking, I found this photo from some event at their library showing their wrought iron. There were no penises in sight, but that's okay. What I learned from the trip is that this is where James Stephen would have been inspired to use wrought iron in general. His research preparing to design Lincoln would have exposed him to a lot of different styles, which also could have been where he discovered French colonial designs. By now, we have a pretty good guess about where the design is from and how James Stephen could have found it. In his research preparing to build Lincoln, James Stephen was inspired to use wrought iron in the school and chose to use French colonial design. But we still don't know if the phalluses were intentional. Who was James Stephen? What is he hiding? Why has no one looked into this before? Why did he make penis stairs? I need to find a living descendant! I found him.
My name is John Pflugrath. I'm the great-grandson of James Stephen.
Do you think that this was something that he saw or intended when he was designing it?
I never met the gentleman, so I really can't state anything of what he was thinking when he made this design. Other than I don't mind the looks of it. I think it's kind of unique. I don't think there was ever any intent of anything other than just a plain, simple design, which was easy to put together. Young people will understand that this may look kind of funny and they want to make jokes about it. But back 110 years ago, that was just perfectly fine. And
John is probably right. James Stephen was born in 1858 and was 50 when he designed Lincoln. When he was designing it, he probably wasn't thinking about penises. My best guess for the history of the stairs is that James Stephen, the architect of Lincoln, was inspired to use wrought iron in the school and chose to use French colonial design, which just coincidentally happens to have phallic elements. Of course, it all happened over 100 years ago, and there's no way to know for sure if he did it on purpose or not. But regardless of his intentions, they're still there, to this day, entertaining generations of high schoolers. What's this? The Pacific Coast Architecture Database website says that James Stephen had a humorous side.